Welcome to the Cal Park Bros podcast. I'm your host, Terrence, and with me is my co-host, Jason, calling in for the back eighth in Indianapolis. Jason, how are you, my good man?
I'm doing quite well. As I say every week, I'm always fired up because it's Cal Park Bros night. Ready to talk shop with my boy, talk about 3 different topics. We got some good ones, some interesting ones, and some fun ones. Terrence, let's get into it.
Yes, sir. Thank you for listening. This is episode 79 of the Cal Park Bros podcast. For the uninitiated, Cal Park Bros is the podcast to hear. We are a weekly podcast for fans of sports, current events, and entertainment.
And as always, we are your hosts, Terrence and Jason, and every single Thursday we come to you with a brand new episode where we discuss the current events of the day, sports, and the athletes we love.
And even some of the athletes we loathe. No matter the topic, you can expect a brutally honest and fun exchange of snark while learning through the lens of our 30 years of friendship that originated in Calumet Park, Illinois.
And folks, for more Cal Park Bros content, make sure you connect with us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, and TikTok under the handle Cal Park Bros or Cal Park Bros Podcast for more behind the scenes of the show and just to engage with us every single day. But do not forget that the Cal Park Bros Podcast is available to listen and subscribe for free wherever you listen to podcasts.
Like us, love us, share us, follow us. And folks, if you like us, hell, why wouldn't you?
That's right, folks. Like Terrence always says, we are the podcast to hear and watch. So make sure you're living it, loving it, and doing it.
Yes, sir. Let's get into it. As Jason already said, it's a fun sports weekend, Jason. Some interesting sports updates. University of Tennessee upset Alabama in football. And got a little rowdy down in the SEC.
A little ratchet, perhaps.
Definitely a little ratchet. As a matter of fact, there was a debacle with some goalposts. For those not in the know, and I wasn't in the know. I was actually down. I was actually traveling the weekend, spending the weekend with my daughter. University of Tennessee defeated Alabama, which is clearly an upset because Alabama's clearly a beast. But Tennessee fans lost their mind. They literally moved the goalposts. They ripped the goalposts off, and they literally threw them into the river. Jason, is that right? Did I hear that right?
That is very correct. Yes.
And what's wild is like, well, one, thank God nobody got hurt, right? Like
that we know of.
Well, but also, we've talked ad nauseum about how especially in like SEC world, the sports is larger than life, and like at this point, the money is so big that. Well, hey, we'll just go get new goalposts for next week, right?
Yeah, I mean that's the plan. Apparently, they're gonna play no other games in the stadium this year, so yeah.
So what's wild is that basically Tennessee got hit with $100,000 fine by the SEC, right? And in addition, they got the Tennessee gets on Twitter and then starts passing around the collection plate, saying, "Hey, we had a great time last week, didn't we, guys? Y'all mind helping us out with these new goalposts, with the GoFundMe?" So I thought it was really interesting that Tennessee, they got the SEC money, but they not gonna pass up the opportunity to crowdsource this replacement for these goalposts, dog. Like there was no way in hell they were just gonna come out of pocket through the athletics budget, right? They were absolutely going to solicit the good old boys network, if you will. I'm not surprised.
It's really not even them soliciting the funds to help pay for it. It's really about doing it on Twitter or social media or any type of online campaign at all. and I'm not saying I'm surprised by that, but it's really just kind of the audacity. Like you said, the school. Now, granted, I will say this: I'm not in the books of any school. I think we all know that the school brings in plenty of revenue just from football, not alone any other sports. And in most cases, with these bigger Division Ones, the football program pays for all the other sports, men's and women's. So I'll say they bring a lot of money. I'll say that. Now, it's estimated that they're looking to get like $150,000 for the goalposts, which probably might include the cost of it and the labor. Which I've seen conflicting reports about that. I've seen some people say it'll really only cost $20,000 to fix it, which that's neither here nor there. If worst case scenario, I figured that they'll just get the money from like alumni and donors and stuff like that. Which obviously, all the guys that play football at Tennessee, who are former NFL players, one big one, Peyton Manning. I'm sure between all the guys that went to school there, I'm sure, pass the collection plate to them easily. Like I jokingly told you the other day, if I'm somebody trying to recoup the funds to get that, my first phone call is to Peyton Manning. Hey, big win on Saturday. You were there. You see what happened? Yeah. Hey, we need to get these goalposts fixed for the next game. Can you help us out? Boom. And I'm sure it'll come out of pocket real quick. If not, he'll probably give you most of it. So that's kind of where I'd go when it comes to the audacity to ask the fans. Now I will say this.
Well, Jason, I have a question for you.
Go for it.
Is it really that audacious to do so?
Yes.
And if so, why?
Okay, so let me say this real quick, and I might go into your question. So if you're going to put out a Twitter poll or whatnot to help ask people to pay for it, that you first, reprimand the students at all for the ones that actually tore it down. Now, obviously, you're probably not going to keep track of everybody's at the game, but there's plenty of photos right here that I'm seeing on this article from NPR with a shot right by the goalpost with them tearing it down. And I can count at least 20, 30, 40 people in this picture, and I can clearly see about half of them at the very least. And I'm sure they have plenty of detectives or whatever, social media detectives, picture detectives that can figure out some of these students. So my question is, did you first get a hold of some of them first before we start hitting up the public or anybody else before? So, and my guess is probably not. And that's part of why I think it's kind of audacious because, we talked about this in general when it comes to fans storming the field, storming the court a few episodes ago. And we kind of sort of mentioned scenarios where people tear the goalposts down. Now, we were bringing that up when it comes to people getting hurt or whatnot. And again, like I said earlier, we don't know who might have got hurt during this situation or not. We don't know. But the fact of the matter is, like I've said, you, on some level, allow this to happen. And in some cases, you actually encourage it. There's an article I found from Sports Illustrated that has a video of the school president being asked, "Hey, how much?" He was being asked, "Hey, how much is that going to cost to get those goalposts fixed?" Somebody said to him, kind of laughingly and jokingly, and directly on camera, and he's cell phone camera, he can clearly be said or seen saying, "It doesn't matter." He said, "We're doing this we're doing this every year." Now, granted, obviously he's in the moment. He smoked a cigar in celebration because of the big win, so I'll give him credit for that. But at the same time, I wonder if he would be okay with it, per his words, if it was because of a big win, either over Alabama or somebody else. So now, granted, he's not the one footing the bill for this, and it's really more of the initiative with the athletic department paying for it. But still, here's your school's president saying, "Hey, it's okay. We'll do it every year." Okay, well, fine. If you're okay with it, then why are you asking anybody else to pay for it? So again, all that goes into the audacity I'm referring to. It was your students who, however many of them were, stormed the field, did whatever they had to do to manipulate the goalpost to get it torn down. They carried it, whatever, to outside of the stadium. The river's not that far away, but still, they walked it all the way to the river and threw it in there. There's actually, again, just because it's 2022, there's actually a video out there, as I'm looking at right now, from a Washington Examiner showing the video of them actually throwing it in the river. These are your students doing this. But yeah, you're asking anybody from the public that has nothing to do with Tennessee to pay for it? Yeah, you can miss me with that, dog. But you know what though? My last point here, real quick. Now I was thinking about it earlier. It doesn't hurt for them to ask, but if people give money to it, then guess what? School wins. And last I checked, as of yesterday, they had $80,000 given to that fund already.
Oh wow. Okay.
So that was as of yesterday. So
my God, yeah. I mean, clearly the personal appeal worked. I think, and Jason, thank you for answering the question. I just want to give my 2 cents just on my angle on this is that I don't think they were interested in really trying to pin this on the people that actually did it. Their goal was to say, okay, let's see how much money we can actually get on an online campaign. Like, hey, we whooped Alabama's ass. We should feel good. Hell, we may not do this anytime soon, right? Let's savor it while we can. Let's take it for all it's worth. Hell, it's one part of a repair mission, and it's one part of a recruitment effort. Okay, sounds crazy, but it's true.
Recruitment effort? How so?
Everyone's talking about their team, their stadium, their fans, their town.
Isn't the bigger recruitment itself is beating Alabama in the first place?
I mean, you're welcome to disagree. Jason, you're welcome to disagree with that. I think that's why they did it. You're muted, by the way.
Thank you. Sorry about that. Yeah, recruiting more players. I don't know about that because again, the win itself is what's going to recruit players from the athletic side of things. But now recruiting more students to come to the school because of this, yeah. If I was a senior in high school, especially if I was a senior in Tennessee, if I was considering going somewhere else close to Tennessee, Tennessee Tech, Tennessee State, whatever, now I might have to think, this place looks pretty fun. I wouldn't mind doing that. If Tennessee football's back, I want to go to this school, So maybe on that side of it. But yeah, again, I'm not disagreeing with you, but if they're thinking that this is going to help athlete recruitment from them turning the goalposts down and asking fans for it or the general public for it, the money, that might be a miscalculation on their part. But like you said, or like we both said, if they ask, you never know what's going to happen. And as yesterday, they already got half the goal, more than half. So I'm sure today, if I checked, or I'm not sure how to check it, but I'm sure if I look today, I wouldn't shock me if they have more of it. So, and again, most of that money they don't need it. I would love to see that whatever money they get for that, if it's actually used for the goalpost or if it's used for something else. Probably never know. I doubt they'll ever have to show the public what they did with the money. I'm sure they won't do it anyway.
I mean,
somebody's gonna know.
I mean, I don't even want to cast aspersions about the improper, especially in light of the Brett Favre news earlier this month. My God.
Well, I'm sure they're going to use the money for something for some school purpose or probably some athletic purpose. I'm not saying they're doing anything scrupulous, anything nefarious with it. I'm just saying I doubt it's going to the goalpost. Just my hunch. Listen. I do agree with. I'll say I don't know how much it costs to replace a goalpost. I don't. But I would have to imagine it's not $150,000. And I don't know if they tore down both of them or it was just one.
I think the local authority had properly defended the stronghold of the other end zone. By the way.
Okay, so again, I don't know how much they cost. Somebody get me wrong. I venture to say it's probably not $150,000. Frankly, I'm sure it's somewhere in the tens of thousands somewhere, but I don't know about 150. But again, could be wrong. So don't nobody at me say I'm totally wrong because I don't know. I'm admitting it, but I'm just saying. I'm not saying. I'm just saying.
And you just got to remember that there's always money in the banana stand.
I don't know what that means, but okay.
And on that note, we should probably be done talking about goalposts.
That is our goal.
And with that said, that concludes our first segment on the University of Tennessee's moving the goalposts and their epic upset over the University of Alabama. Coming up next, we're going to talk about some of these epic investments in the pickleball. Coming up next on Cal Fire Bros.